Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel Alison the Savior. If you enjoy audio series like this and want more exciting stories, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you also like Hindi audio series, then make sure to subscribe to our second channel AZTS Novel Hindi for amazing Hindi stories and content. Now, without wasting any more time, let's dive straight into today's story. Chapter 1: The Boy Who Woke Twice. Cold. That was the first sensation. Not the cold of winter, not the cold of night, but something deeper. Something that seemed to seep into bone, into breath, into thought itself. It was as if the world he knew had been stripped away layer by layer, leaving only emptiness behind. Herbert Max tried to move. His body responded, wrong. Too small. Too light. Too fragile. His eyelids fluttered open. A dim stone ceiling greeted him. Cracks ran across it like old scars, and faint candlelight flickered somewhere beyond his vision, painting the room in trembling shadows. The air was thick with the scent of ink, dried herbs, and something bitter, like crushed leaves left too long in water. He slowly pushed himself up. And froze. His hands were not his. Long fingers. Pale skin. Slight ink stains near the nails. A boy's hands, but not the body he remembered. Not the life he had lived. A sharp pressure surged through his skull. Then, a voice echoed inside his mind. Magic potion system initializing. Soul synchronization complete. Host detected, Severus Snape. Herbert's breath stopped completely. Severus Snape. The name hit him like a weight. Not unfamiliar. Not random. Memories that weren't his began to rise, fragmented, chaotic, and invasive. A childhood filled with silence. A home that never felt warm. A father's cold presence. A mother's quiet suffering. A boy growing up between neglect and books, learning early that love was something distant and fragile. And then, Hogwarts. Wands. Magic. Houses that divided fate itself. Slytherin. His chest tightened painfully. No, he whispered. This can't be real. But the system did not stop. Timeline alignment confirmed. Warning: canon fate contains severe tragedy points. Primary directive activated, survival. Fate deviation recommended. Silence followed. Only the faint crackle of candle flames filled the room. Severus, no. Herbert inside Severus slowly looked around. The room was small, cramped, filled with potion books stacked unevenly and scrolls covered in precise handwriting. A half-finished brewing setup sat on a desk nearby. Glass flasks, dried ingredients, a cauldron that still smelled faintly metallic. It wasn't just a bedroom. It was a workspace. A student's life already in motion. His gaze drifted toward the desk. Something about it pulled him closer. On it lay a parchment filled with potion notes. Carefully written. Structured. But incomplete, like a thought cut off before reaching its conclusion. Without thinking, he reached out and touched it. The moment his fingers made contact, the world shifted. Potion analysis activated. Scanning formula, basic healing draw. Detected inefficiencies, 5 critical flaws. Reconstruction pathway available. His pupils tightened. Flaws? He read the parchment again. At first, it looked normal. Standard instructions. Familiar potion steps. But now, it wasn't just text anymore. It was structure. Flow. Energy movement between ingredients. stability loss at specific temperature points, timing mismatches in stirring cycles, a hidden imbalance that would weaken the final effect. He could see it, not guess it, know it. A breath escaped him slowly. So this is what I am now. The system flickered again, softly, like it was alive. User cognitive adaptation increasing. Potion comprehension level, beginner advanced, temporary insight boost. Severus leaned back slightly, staring at his hands again. A second life. A different world. A story already written, but now rewritten by his existence. Outside the room, Hogwarts continued as if nothing had changed. Students walked, professors taught, time moved forward exactly as it always had. But inside the small stone room, a fracture had formed in destiny itself. Severus closed his eyes for a moment. When he opened them again, something inside him had already changed. Not fear. Not confusion. But clarity. If I'm Severus Snape, he murmured quietly, then I won't live like him. His gaze returned to the potion notes. And if this world is already written? A faint, sharp determination settled in his expression. Then I'll just rewrite it. The candle flame flickered harder for a moment, as if reacting to something unseen. And in that quiet room, deep inside Hogwarts, the boy who was meant to be forgotten had begun to awaken. Chapter to the first step beyond flaws. Morning light did not feel like morning. It felt like continuation. Severus Snape sat at the edge of his bed, motionless, as if the night had never truly ended. The strange weight in his mind, the memory of another life, the voice of the system, had not disappeared. It remained there, silent but present, like a second heartbeat beneath his thoughts. The room around him was unchanged. Stone walls. Narrow bed. Potion books stacked with obsessive precision. Glass vials arranged by size and color. Everything spoke of discipline and isolation. And yet, something was different now. He looked at his hands again. These were not the hands of Herbert Max. They were Severus Snape's hands. But he no longer felt like he was borrowing them. He felt like he was beginning to understand them. A soft flicker appeared in his vision. Magic potion system active. Passive insight mode available. Severus did not speak. He simply stared at the half-finished potion parchment on his desk. Yesterday, it had been meaningless notes. Now, it felt like an equation waiting to be corrected. He stood up and walked to the desk. The wooden surface creaked slightly under his touch. The cauldron beside it was cold, and used since last night's attempt. Ingredients were scattered in small labeled jars, standard student materials, nothing rare. Dried nettle, crushed fluxweed, and powdered silverleaf. A beginner's setup. A student's limits. But Severus was no longer thinking like a student. His fingers moved slowly across the parchment. The system activated instantly. Analyzing potion structure. Healing draught, low-grade variant detected. Reconstruction sequence initiated. His eyes narrowed. Lines of invisible structure appeared in his mind, not physical text, but flow. He could sense where the potion weakened, where the ingredients failed to harmonize, where magical energy dispersed instead of binding. It was like seeing a broken machine for the first time, and instinctively knowing how to rebuild it. Severus reached for a quill. Then stopped. A thought surfaced. If I change it, will it still be the same potion? The system responded instantly. Answer, no. Reconstructed formula will exceed original standard efficiency by 37%. Result, enhanced healing draw. Silence. Severus exhaled slowly. So even perfection is adjustable. He dipped the quill and began writing. Each correction felt strangely natural. Stirring intervals adjusted. Ingredient ratios shifted. Temperature timing refined. Small changes, yet each one felt like removing a flaw that had always been there but never noticed. When he finished, the parchment no longer looked like a student's attempt. It looked like something older. Something refined. Something complete. A faint vibration passed through the air. Potion blueprint stabilized. New recipe registered. Enhanced healing draught. Prototype. Reward. Potion insight EXP plus 10. Severus paused. A strange warmth spread through his chest, not emotional warmth, but something deeper. Like understanding itself was being rewarded. He glanced at the cauldron. Test it, he whispered. He lit the flame. Water was poured. Ingredients followed. Everything moved exactly as the system suggested, no hesitation, no guesswork. For the first time, Severus did not try to brew a potion. He simply executed what he already knew would work. The mixture began to glow faintly. Not the dull green of standard healing draughts, but a soft silver blue light, swirling gently like liquid moonlight trapped in glass. Severus stared. This was not normal. Even without knowledge of this world's standards, he knew one thing instinctively. This was better. Far better. The system spoke again. Potion synthesis successful. Quality, high grade. Effectiveness, plus 42% above standard healing potion. Severus slowly reached forward and lifted the vial. It was warm. Alive almost. For a long moment, he simply held it. Then, quietly, he said, "So this is how it begins." Outside the window, Hogwarts was waking up. Voices echoed faintly in corridors. Life continued exactly as it always had. But inside the small room, something irreversible had shifted. Severus Snape was no longer a boy following notes written by others. He was beginning to rewrite them. And fate, without realizing it yet, had taken its first step toward being changed. Chapter 3: The Cost of Perfection. The potion did not lie. That was the first thought in Severus Snape's mind as he stared at the vial resting in his hand. The liquid shimmered faintly, a soft silver blue glow pulsing within it like a living thing. Even without drinking it, he could sense its stability, its purity. There were no chaotic fluctuations, no wasted magical energy leaking from the mixture. It was complete. Far beyond what a first year, or even most students, should be capable of creating. Severus exhaled slowly and set the vial down. Too perfect, he muttered. Perfection attracted attention. And attention, in a place like Hogwarts, was dangerous. His gaze hardened slightly as his thoughts shifted. In his previous life, standing out had rarely mattered. But here, things were different. This was not just a magical school, it was a stage where futures were shaped, alliances formed, and enemies made long before war ever began. If he revealed too much, too early, he would become a variable others would want to control or eliminate. The system flickered faintly, as if responding to his thoughts. Warning acknowledged. Host decision-making aligned with survival protocol. Severus leaned back slightly in his chair. So even you agree? His fingers tapped lightly against the wooden desk, once, twice, steady and controlled. He needed a balance. Power, but hidden. Growth, but controlled. A faint smirk touched his lips. That means I need to learn how to fail. The idea felt strange. In his previous life, failure had never been a choice. It had been something to avoid, something that came. But here, with the system guiding him, failure could be constructed. Carefully. Intentionally. Severus stood and walked toward the cauldron again. The remaining ingredients sat neatly arranged, waiting. This time, he did not follow the system's perfect reconstruction. Instead, he introduced a flaw. A slight delay in stirring. A minor imbalance in temperature. Just enough. The system reacted instantly. Warning, deviation detected. Potion quality expected to decrease. I know, he said quietly. The brewing continued. The glow this time was weaker. Less stable. The color dulled into a faint green, closer to what a standard healing potion should look like. When it finished, Severus poured it into a separate vial. He compared the two. One perfect. One ordinary. His eyes narrowed slightly. Good. This was acceptable. He would advance in silence. No one needed to know how far he could truly go. A faint knock suddenly echoed through the room. Severus froze. His gaze snapped toward the door. Another knock. Snape, a voice called from outside, sharp and impatient. Are you planning to stay in there all morning? Severus recognized the tone immediately. Arrogant. Confident. Slightly mocking. James Potter. His expression didn't change, but something colder settled behind his eyes. Memories surfaced. Taunts. Bullying. Humiliation. The old Severus would have reacted emotionally. But not him. Not anymore. He moved calmly, placing the two potion vials out of direct sight, covering the perfect one behind a stack of books while leaving the flawed version visible. Only then did he walk to the door and open it. James Potter stood there, leaning casually against the frame, messy hair as untamed as ever. Behind him, Sirius Black smirked faintly, clearly enjoying the moment. Finally, James said, raising an eyebrow. Thought you'd brewed yourself into your cauldron. Severus met his gaze without flinching. Disappointed? For a brief second, James looked surprised. Not by the words, but by the tone. There was no hesitation. No irritation. Just calm. Sirius's smirk faded slightly as he studied him more closely. You're different today, Snivelus, Sirius muttered. Severus ignored the nickname completely. What do you want? He asked, his voice even. James crossed his arms. Class starts soon. Slughorn's expecting everyone. Even you. Severus nodded once. I'm aware. He moved past them without another word, closing the door behind him with quiet precision. James watched him go, a frown forming. What was that? He muttered. Sirius didn't answer immediately. His eyes lingered on the closed door. I don't know, he said slowly. But it didn't feel like the same person. Meanwhile, Severus walked down the corridor. Each step steady. Controlled. Inside, his thoughts were already moving ahead. Potions class. A perfect place to test limits. A perfect place to hide them. The system flickered softly once more. New scenario detected. Academic environment. Opportunity. Skill refinement plus control exposure. Severus's lips curved faintly. Yes, he murmured under his breath. Let's see how far I can go without being seen. And with that, the first real test of his new life began. Chapter 4: A Genius Must Bleed Slowly. The dungeon classroom was already alive with noise when Severus entered. Low murmurs, the clinking of glass, the occasional burst of laughter, it all blended into a chaotic rhythm that most students ignored. But to Severus, every sound felt sharper, more defined, as if his awareness had deepened overnight. Or perhaps, he had simply changed. He stepped inside quietly. The room was exactly as memory described: long wooden tables arranged in rows, shelves lined with preserved ingredients, and a faint greenish light filtering through the narrow windows set high in the stone walls. At the front stood Professor Slughorn. Round, composed, and observant. Very observant. Severus's eyes narrowed slightly. So this is the man who values talent above all else. That made him dangerous. Not because he was cruel, but because he noticed. "Ah, Mr. Snape," Slughorn's voice rang out warmly, though his eyes held a hint of curiosity. Cutting it close, but just in time. Severus gave a small nod. "My apologies, Professor." His tone was respectful. Controlled. Nothing unusual. Slughorn studied him for a moment longer than necessary before gesturing toward an empty station. "Today, we will be brewing a basic restorative potion," he announced to the class. Simple in theory, but quite unforgiving if mishandled. A ripple of groans passed through the students. Severus remained silent as he took his place. James Potter and Sirius Black were at the table beside him. He could feel their attention, subtle but present. Not open hostility, yet, but curiosity. That was worse. Curiosity led to observation. Observation led to attention. And attention was what he needed to avoid. The system flickered gently. Potion identified, basic restorative solution. Flaw detection, 6 inefficiencies. Optimization available. Severus didn't react. Not outwardly. Inside, however, the structure of the potion had already unfolded in his mind. Every flaw, every imbalance, every wasted motion, it was all clear. Too clear. He reached for the ingredients slowly. Deliberately. Measured. No sudden precision. No unnatural speed. He began. Water first. Heat adjusted, not perfectly, but close enough. Crushed leaves added, but with slight inconsistency. Every action was calculated. Not to succeed fully, but to appear average. Still. Even while restraining himself, his movements held a certain rhythm. A natural efficiency that couldn't be completely hidden. Across the room, Slughorn's gaze drifted. Paused. Then lingered. Interesting, the professor thought. Severus could feel it. He didn't look up. Didn't react. But he adjusted. Slightly slower stirring. A minor delay. A controlled imperfection. The potion began to form. A soft glow appeared in the cauldron, faint, stable, but not extraordinary. Exactly where it needed to be. Beside him, James muttered under his breath. "He's actually doing it right." Sirius frowned slightly. "Yeah, but something's off." Severus heard them. Ignored them. The system pulsed again. Performance evaluation, control suppression successful. Hidden potential maintained. A faint exhale left his lips. Good. When the brewing time ended, Slughorn began walking between the tables, inspecting each student's work. One by one. Slowly. Carefully. Until he stopped in front of Severus. Silence stretched for a brief moment. Slughorn leaned forward slightly, peering into the cauldron. Not praise. Not disappointment. Just consideration. This is quite stable, he said finally. Severus met his gaze calmly. I followed the instructions, Professor. Slughorn's eyes flickered. Yes, I can see that. But something in his expression suggested he didn't fully believe it. Not completely. After a moment, he nodded and moved on. But his curiosity had not faded. Not at all. Severus lowered his gaze back to the potion. Inside, his thoughts were already shifting. That was close. Not exposure. Not yet. But enough to draw a thread of attention. And in a place like Hogwarts, threads became chains. The class ended soon after. Students began packing up, conversations rising once again. As Severus cleaned his workspace, a shadow fell across his table. He didn't need to look up to know who it was. James Potter. You're hiding something, James said bluntly. Am I? Sirius leaned against the table, watching him closely. You're not that good, Sirius added. So how did you get that result? Severus finally looked up. His expression was calm. Unbothered. Maybe, he said quietly, you're just not as observant as you think. For a brief second, silence fell. James's jaw tightened. Sirius's eyes narrowed. But before either could respond, Severus turned and walked away. No hesitation. No fear. Just control. Behind him, tension lingered in the air. I don't like it, Sirius muttered. James didn't reply immediately. His gaze followed Severus's retreating figure. Yeah, he said finally. Me neither. Meanwhile, Severus stepped into the corridor. The noise of the classroom faded behind him. His pace remained steady. But inside, his thoughts sharpened. Attention had begun. Not overwhelming. Not dangerous. Yet. But it was there. And that meant one thing. He needed to grow faster. Stronger. Smarter. Before anyone realized what he was becoming. The system flickered softly. Next phase suggestion, resource acquisition. Objective, expand ingredient access. Severus's eyes darkened slightly. Of course. Power required resources. And Hogwarts was filled with them. He turned toward the deeper corridors of the castle. Toward places most students avoided. Dark. Quiet. Unwatched. A faint, almost imperceptible smile touched his lips. If I'm going to rise. His voice was barely a whisper. Then I won't wait for permission. And with that, Severus Snape took his first step beyond the limits of a student. Chapter 5 The First Forbidden Ingredient. The deeper corridors of Hogwarts were different. Quieter. Colder. As Severus walked further away from the populated halls, the distant chatter of students faded into silence. The air grew still, heavy with age and something else, something ancient that lingered within the stone itself. This was not a place for ordinary students. Which was exactly why he came here. His footsteps echoed faintly as he moved with purpose, his expression calm but his mind sharp. Every turn, every staircase, every shadowed passage was already mapped within the memories of Severus Snape. And now, those memories belonged to him. Storage rooms, unused classrooms, restricted sections. Hogwarts was full of forgotten places. And forgotten places held opportunity. The system flickered softly. Exploration mode active. Objective: identify rare or underutilized resources. Severus exhaled slowly. Let's see what this castle is hiding. He turned down a narrow corridor, its walls lined with cracked stone and dim torchlight. At the far end stood a wooden door, old, slightly warped, and rarely used. Locked. Of course. Severus raised his hand. For a moment, hesitation flickered in his mind. Not fear, but calculation. A first-year student. Using magic improperly. Risk. But then, the system responded. Suggestion: manual bypass available. Severus's lips curved faintly. Right. He stepped closer and examined the lock. Old. Worn. Not maintained. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a thin piece of metal, nothing magical, just a simple tool. Carefully. Patiently. A quiet click echoed. The door opened. Inside, the room was dark. Dust lingered in the air, disturbed only by the faint movement of his steps. Shelves lined the walls, filled with jars, boxes, and containers long forgotten. Ingredients. Unsorted. Unlabeled in some cases. Ignored. Severus stepped inside, closing the door softly behind him. His eyes adjusted quickly. Then, the system activated. Scanning environment. Multiple ingredients detected. Highlighting valuable materials. Several objects faintly glowed in his vision. Not physically, but within his perception. Guided. He moved toward the nearest shelf. A jar filled with dark, brittle leaves. Item identified: nightshade fragments. Condition: degraded but usable. Another container. Powdered substance, slightly clumped. Item identified: crushed moonroot. Purity: 41%. Severus's eye sharpened. Even degraded, these were not beginner-level ingredients. Not something first-year students were meant to use. Which meant opportunity. His fingers hovered over the jar of nightshade. Dangerous. Unstable. Perfect. Extraction, he murmured. The system responded instantly. Extraction function activated. Breaking down material into essence. The moment his fingers touched the jar, a strange sensation passed through him. It wasn't physical, it was internal. Like something invisible was being pulled apart and restructured. The brittle leaves seemed to lose weight. Fade. Not physically disappearing, but changing. In his mind, a new presence formed. Obtained, nightshade essence X1. Severus froze. So it converts materials. His gaze shifted. Not just ingredients. Essence. Refined. Pure. More efficient than raw components. A slow realization spread through him. This wasn't just a potion system. It was an alchemy system. A dangerous one. He continued. One by one, he tested the process, carefully, not taking too much. Extracting small amounts, learning the limits. Each time, the system responded with precise feedback. Essence stored. Purity increased. Alchemy insight +1. Minutes passed. Or perhaps longer. Time felt irrelevant. Until a sudden sound broke the silence. Footsteps. Outside the door. Severus stilled instantly. His breath slowed. Measured. The footsteps stopped. Right outside. Strange, a voice muttered faintly. I thought I heard something. Severus didn't move. Didn't breathe. Seconds stretched. Then, the footsteps faded. Gone. Only silence remained. Severus exhaled slowly. Careless. His eyes darkened slightly. This wasn't a game. One mistake, and everything would collapse. He looked around the room one last time. Then stepped back. Enough for now. He opened the door carefully, checking the corridor before stepping out. Empty. Good. As he walked away, his mind was no longer focused on fear, but on possibility. Essence extraction. Hidden resources. Unseen growth. The system flickered once more. New capability unlocked. Basic alchemy processing. Recommendation. Combine essence with potion formulas. Severus's lips curved faintly. So that's the next step. Not just improving potions, but evolving them beyond what this world understood. As he returned toward the main corridors, the noise of Hogwarts slowly came back into reach. Students. Voices. Normalcy. But Severus was no longer part of that simplicity. Not anymore. Because hidden within him now was something no one else possessed. A system that could turn even the most dangerous ingredients into power. And this was only the beginning. Chapter 6: The Value of a Single Drop. The castle had returned to its usual rhythm. Students filled the corridors again, laughter echoing against ancient stone, footsteps overlapping in chaotic patterns. Nothing seemed different on the surface. But for Severus Snape, everything had changed. He walked among them quietly, his posture straight, his expression neutral. No one paid him more attention than usual. A glance here, a whisper there, but nothing out of place. Good. That meant his control was working. Yet beneath that calm exterior, his thoughts moved rapidly. Nightshade essence. Minute refinement. Alchemy processing. These were not abilities meant for a student. They were tools meant for something far greater. But tools are useless without application. Severus slowed his steps slightly as he approached an empty corridor, letting the crowd move past him. I need a test, he murmured. The system responded immediately. Suggestion: integrate essence into low-risk potion. Recommended base, healing draw. His eye sharpened. Of course. A familiar foundation. Low visibility. High control. He turned and headed back toward his room. The door clicked shut behind him. Silence returned instantly. Severus moved without hesitation, already preparing the cauldron. The ingredients were laid out neatly, standard materials, nothing suspicious. Except for one thing. The essence. He paused, staring at the faint, intangible presence he could feel within his mind. It wasn't visible, yet it was undeniably there. Refined. Concentrated. Dangerous. Let's see what you can do. The flame ignited beneath the cauldron. Water heated slowly. The process began. Everything followed the corrected blueprint from before, precise, efficient, controlled. Until the final stage. Severus's hand hovered slightly. This was the variable. Too much essence. And the potion could destabilize. Too little. And the effect would be meaningless. He closed his eyes briefly. Then made his decision. One drop. The system pulsed. Warning, essence integration is experimental. Outcome unpredictable. I know. Carefully, he guided the essence into the mixture. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the potion reacted violently. The liquid darkened, swirling faster than before, as if something inside it had come alive. The surface trembled, unstable, threatening to collapse into chaos. Severus's eyes snapped open. Control it. His hand moved instantly, adjusting temperature, altering stirring patterns, stabilizing the flow exactly as the system suggested. The reaction intensified. Then suddenly stopped. Silence filled the room. The potion settled. Not green. Not silver blue. But something else entirely. A deep, luminous violet. Severus stared. What is this? The system answered. Analysis complete. Result, enhanced regenerative drought, variant, effect, accelerated healing plus minor stamina restoration. Efficiency, plus 78% above standard healing potion. A long silence followed. Severus slowly reached forward and lifted the vial. The liquid glowed faintly in his hand, steady and stable. Not a failure. Not even close. This was something new. Something beyond the limits of what he should be capable of. So one drop changes everything. His grip tightened slightly. This was no longer just improvement. This was evolution. A slow breath left his lips. But then, a sharp pressure suddenly pulsed through his chest. Severus staggered slightly, catching himself against the desk. What? The system reacted immediately. Warning, magic core strain detected. Cause, excessive alchemical processing. Recommendation, rest and recovery required. Severus frowned. Strain? His breathing had become slightly uneven. Not painful, but noticeable. Like something inside him had been pushed further than it should. He closed his eyes briefly. So there's a cost. Of course there was. Power without limitation didn't exist. Not here. Not anywhere. He set the vial down carefully. The excitement from moments before faded, replaced by something colder. Understanding. If I push too far, he murmured, I break. The system flickered softly. Correction, host will not break. However, uncontrolled growth may result in instability. Severus let out a quiet breath. Same difference. He moved back and sat down, letting his body relax slightly. This wasn't failure. It was information. Limits defined. Risks identified. A faint, almost imperceptible smile touched his lips. Good. Because now, he could plan around it. Outside, the sounds of Hogwarts continued as always. Unaware. Unchanged. But inside this small room, Severus Snape had just taken another step beyond what the world believed possible. Not loudly. Not recklessly. But precisely. Carefully. Like a drop of potion added at exactly the right moment. Small. Invisible. And powerful enough to change everything. Chapter 7 Eyes that begin to notice. Pain lingered longer than Severus expected. Not sharp. Not unbearable. But persistent, like a quiet reminder echoing beneath his skin. Every movement felt slightly heavier, every breath just a little more deliberate. Magic core strain. He had pushed too far. Severus sat by the window, pale morning light spilling across the stone floor. The vial of violet potion rested on the desk behind him, untouched since its creation. His gaze was distant. Calculating. So the limit isn't knowledge, he murmured softly. Its capacity. The system responded. Correct. Dot. Magic core capacity directly influences processing threshold. Dot. Recommendation. Gradual enhancement required. Dot. Severus nodded slightly. That made sense. He could understand more than his body could handle. A dangerous imbalance. One that could destroy him if ignored. Then I need to grow both, he said quietly. Not just skill, but endurance. The system flickered faintly. New objective generated. Dot. Train magic core through controlled usage. Dot. Severus exhaled slowly. Training. Not through reckless experimentation, but through control. A faint knock interrupted his thoughts. Once. Twice. Measured. Severus turned his head slightly. Come in. The door opened. A Slytherin student stepped inside, tall, composed, with sharp features and neatly combed hair. His expression was calm, but his eyes carried quiet confidence. Lucius Malfoy. Severus recognized him instantly. Older. Influential. Observant. And not someone who wasted time on meaningless interactions. Snape, Lucius said smoothly, closing the door behind him. I hope I'm not interrupting. Severus stood slowly. Not at all. His tone remained neutral. Respectful, but not submissive. Lucius studied him for a moment. Longer than necessary. You've been interesting lately, he said. Severus didn't respond immediately. He simply met his gaze. Is that a problem? Lucius' lips curved slightly. No. On the contrary. He stepped further into the room, his eyes briefly scanning the surroundings, the books, the ingredients, the workspace. Nothing out of place. Nothing revealing. Good. You've got Professor Slughorn's attention, Lucius continued. And not just his. Severus's expression didn't change. But his mind sharpened instantly. Too soon. I've done nothing exceptional, he said calmly. Lucius chuckled softly. That's the interesting part. He stopped a few steps away. You're trying not to be exceptional. Silence filled the room. For a brief moment. Nothing moved. Then Severus spoke. Observation doesn't equal understanding. Lucius' smile widened slightly. Well said. A pause. Then. I like that. Severus remained still. Lucius tilted his head slightly. Tell me, Snape, what do you want? The question came without warning. Direct. Heavy. Severus didn't answer immediately. Because the truth was complicated. Power. Control. Freedom from fate. But those weren't answers he could give. To improve, he said finally. Lucius watched him closely. Then nodded. A simple answer. Another pause. But not a simple goal. He turned slightly, as if preparing to leave. Then stopped. Be careful, Lucius added, his voice quieter now. In this world, talent attracts opportunity. A faint shift in tone. And danger. Severus's eyes darkened slightly. I'm aware. Lucius glanced back one last time. I believe you are. Then he left. The door closed softly behind him, Silence returned. Severus stood there for several seconds without moving. Then, he exhaled slowly. So it begins. Attention from someone like Lucius Malfoy was not random. It meant he had already crossed an invisible line. Not exposed, but noticed. The system flickered faintly. External variable detected. Lucius Malfoy. Threat level, moderate. Opportunity level, high. Severus let out a quiet breath. Both. That made things more complicated, but also more interesting. He turned his gaze back toward the desk. Toward the violet potion. Toward the future he was slowly building. If they're watching, he murmured, then I need to be better. Not just stronger. Smarter. More controlled. More unpredictable. A faint, cold determination settled in his eyes. Let them see what I allow them to see. Outside, the castle continued as always. Students moved. Classes changed. Nothing seemed different. But beneath the surface, eyes had begun to turn. And Severus Snape was no longer invisible. Chapter 8. The First Raid. Attention was a currency. Severus understood that now. Too little, and you were ignored, left weak, unseen, and without influence. Too much, and you became a target, studied, controlled, or eliminated. The balance between the two. That was where power truly existed. Severus walked through the lower corridors of Hogwarts, his pace calm, his expression unreadable. The conversation with Lucius Malfoy lingered in his mind, not as a threat, but as confirmation. He had been noticed, which meant his next steps mattered even more. The system flickered faintly. Current status, stable. Magic core strain reduced, 63% 41%. Recommendation, control activity advised. Severus nodded slightly. Then we proceed carefully. His destination wasn't random. The Slytherin common room. More specifically, a certain group within it. The low green glow of the common room cast shifting shadows across the walls. Students gathered in small clusters, talking quietly, exchanging rumors, observing each other. Hierarchy existed here. Unspoken, but very real. Severus entered without drawing attention, moving toward a quieter corner. His presence was acknowledged, but not challenged. Not yet. He sat down, placing a small vial on the table in front of him. The flawed healing potion. Not the perfect one. Not the violet variant. Just enough. A few minutes passed. Then, Snape. The voice was familiar. Severus looked up. A Slytherin student stood across from him, older, confident, with a slightly impatient expression. Avery. Severus recognized him from memory. Ambitious. Cautious. And always looking for advantage. You've been busy lately, Avery said, glancing at the vial. What's that? Severus didn't answer immediately. Instead, he pushed the vial slightly forward. Improve healing draught. Avery raised an eyebrow. Improved? He picked it up, inspecting the liquid inside. Look standard. It is, Severus replied calmly. Mostly. Avery frowned slightly. Mostly. Severus leaned back just enough to appear relaxed. It works faster. A pause. Not by much, he added. Avery's eye sharpened. Show me. Severus nodded once. A simple request. Expected. Avery pulled a small blade from his pocket without hesitation and made a shallow cut across his palm. Severus didn't react. This was normal here. The kind of quiet, controlled risk Slytherins accepted without question. Avery poured a small amount of the potion onto the wound. They both watched. For a moment. Nothing. Then, the cut began to close. Not instantly. Not dramatically. But faster than it should have. Avery's expression changed. Just slightly. Interesting. He flexed his hand, examining the result. Where did you get this? I made it, Severus said simply. Silence. Avery studied him carefully now. Not casually. Not dismissively. But with intent. You're a first year, he said slowly. Yes. And you made this? Yes. Another pause. Then Avery smiled faintly. You're useful. Severus didn't react to the word. He expected it. In Slytherin, usefulness was value. Nothing more. Nothing less. Avery placed the vial back on the table. What do you want for it? There it was. The question Severus had been waiting for. Trade. Not friendship. Not trust. Exchange. Severus met his gaze calmly. Ingredients. Avery narrowed his eyes slightly. What kind? Better ones. A faint chuckle escaped Avery. Specific. Necessary. Silence stretched between them. Then, Avery nodded. Fair. He reached into his robes and pulled out a small pouch, placing it on the table. Starter, he said. If what you make next is better, it will be. Avery smirked slightly. Confidence. Precision, Severus corrected. A moment passed. Then Avery stood. We'll talk again, Snape. And just like that, he left. Severus remained seated. Still. Silent. But inside, everything aligned. The system flickered. Transaction successful. Resource acquisition increased. Alchemy progression potential enhanced. Severus reached forward and picked up the pouch. Inside. Better ingredients. Not rare. But a step forward. A beginning. So this is how it works. Not just power. Not just knowledge. But exchange. Control. Influence built quietly. One step at a time. He stood and turned toward the exit. His next move already forming in his mind. More ingredients. Better potions. Careful exposure. Slow growth. A faint, almost invisible smile touched his lips. Because now, he wasn't just hiding his strength. He was using it. And in Slytherin, that was how you climbed. Chapter 9 The Price of Knowledge. The pouch Avery had given him was heavier than expected. Not in weight, but in implication. Severus sat at his desk, the small leather bag resting in front of him. The room was quiet, dimly lit by a single candle. Outside, the castle had settled into its usual night silence. Carefully, he opened it. Inside were ingredients far better than what first-year students normally had access to. Refined fluxweed, properly dried lacewing flies, and even a small vial of concentrated salamander ash. Severus's eye sharpened slightly. So this is a level above standard supply. Not rare. but controlled. And more importantly, useful. The system activated instantly. Materials detected, mid-grade ingredients. Compatibility, high. Suggestion, attempt advanced synthesis. Severus exhaled slowly. Advanced. That meant risk. But also growth. He closed the pouch and leaned back slightly, his gaze distant. Not yet. The system flickered. Decision acknowledged. Severus's fingers tapped lightly against the table. Avery's trade had given him resources, but also expectations. And expectations created pressure. If he improved too quickly, suspicion would grow. If he improved too slowly, value would drop. Balance. Always balance. Then I need something in between, he murmured. Not basic. Not advanced. Something that showed progress. But not brilliance. His eyes shifted toward the shelf. Then paused. A thought surfaced. Unless I don't show it at all. The system responded. Clarification requested. Severus leaned forward slightly. What if the result isn't the value, but the process? Silence. Then. Processing. Conclusion, indirect value generation possible. A faint smirk appeared. Exactly. Instead of selling finished potions, he could sell knowledge. Improvements. Small refinements. Nothing too obvious. Nothing too revealing. Just enough to make others dependent. That way, I don't stand out. His eyes darkened slightly. They do. The system pulsed. Strategy evaluation, efficient. Risk level, reduced. Severus stood. The plan was forming. But before he could act, a sudden knock echoed through the door. Once. Twice. Severus stilled. Different from before. This knock was softer. Hesitant. Not demanding. Come in, he said. The door opened slowly. A girl stepped inside. Red hair. Green eyes. Familiar. Lily Evans. For a brief moment, time seemed to pause. Memories surfaced. Not his own, but Severus Snape's. Childhood. Friendship. Hope. And eventually, loss. Severus remained still. Watching. Analyzing. Lily hesitated near the door. Severus, she said quietly. Can I come in? You already have. The words came out colder than intended. Lily flinched slightly. But didn't leave. Instead, she stepped closer, her expression uncertain. You've been different, she said. Severus didn't respond. He already knew that. I just wanted to check, she continued, if something's wrong. There was sincerity in her voice. Genuine concern. Something rare. Something dangerous. Severus looked at her. Really looked this time. Not through memory. Not through expectation. But through his own perspective. Nothing is wrong, he said calmly. Lily frowned slightly. That's not true. Silence. Then she stepped closer. You're not the same, Severus. Her voice softened. And I don't understand why. Severus held her gaze. Steady. Unmoving. Inside, his thoughts were far from simple. This was a turning point. The original Severus had built his world around Lily. That path led to destruction, obsession, regret. He would not repeat it. People change, he said quietly. Lily shook her head. Not like this. Another pause. Then, did I do something? She asked. Severus's expression didn't shift. No. Then why are you pushing me away? The question lingered in the air. Heavy. Unavoidable. Severus exhaled slowly. Because the truth was not something she would understand. Because I need to, he said. Lily's eyes widened slightly. Need to. Yes. Silence followed. Then. I don't like that answer, she said softly. Severus almost smiled. You don't have to. A long pause stretched between them. Then Lily stepped back. Her expression wasn't angry. It wasn't hurt. Not fully. But something had changed. Something subtle. You're really different, she whispered. Severus didn't respond. Because she was right. Completely right. After a moment, Lily turned and walked toward the door. She paused briefly. I hope you know what you're doing. Then she left. The door closed. Silence returned. Severus stood there, unmoving. Then he let out a quiet breath. I do. The system flickered softly. Emotional variable detected . Impact, minimal . Severus's gaze shifted slightly. Not minimal. But controlled. That was what mattered. He turned back toward the desk. Toward the pouch of ingredients. Toward the path ahead. Because now, he had made his first real decision. Not about power. Not about potions. But about people. And in this world, that choice would shape everything that followed. Chapter 10 The Quiet Web. The castle did not change overnight. It never did. Hogwarts moved at its own pace, slow, steady, almost indifferent to the small shifts happening within its walls. Students attended classes, whispered rumors, formed alliances, and broke them just as easily. But beneath that surface, something had begun to move. Severus Snape walked through the corridors as he always did, quiet, unremarkable, unnoticed by most. But not by all. A glance here. A pause there. A slight hesitation in conversation when he passed. Subtle. But present. His lips barely moved. Good. Not too much. Not too little. Just enough. The system flickered faintly. Current influence level, increasing . Detection risk, low, moderate . Severus adjusted his pace slightly. He wasn't just moving through Hogwarts anymore. He was positioning himself within it. That afternoon, he returned to the Slytherin common room. Not to trade. Not yet. But to observe. Avery was there. Along with a few others, Mulciber, Rosier, and two older students who spoke in low, controlled tones. Severus didn't approach immediately. Instead, he took a seat nearby, close enough to listen, far enough to avoid direct involvement. Heard Slughorn mention it, Mulciber was saying. Someone's been improving standard formulas. Rosier frowned. That's not possible. Students don't have that level of understanding. Avery leaned back slightly. Most don't. Silence followed. Then, you think it's Snape? One of the older students asked. Avery didn't answer immediately. His gaze shifted briefly towards Severus, then away. I think, Avery said slowly, that he's useful. Not confirmation. Not denial. Ambiguous. Carefully chosen. Severus's eyes lowered slightly. Good. Avery understood. Not fully. But enough. Later that evening, Severus returned to his room. The door closed behind him, and the quiet returned. He placed the pouch of ingredients on the desk, then paused, thinking. The system flickered. Pending objective, resource optimization. Severus nodded slightly. It's time. Not for a breakthrough. Not yet. But for expansion. He reached for a clean parchment and began writing. Not a full formula. Not a complete solution. Just fragments. Small improvements. Minor corrections to common potion mistakes. Nothing revolutionary. But enough to make a difference. When he finished, he looked at it carefully. This is what they get. Knowledge. Not power. A dependency. The system responded. Strategy confirmed, indirect control. Severus set the parchment aside. Then turned toward the cauldron. And this is what I keep. The real work began. This time, he used the better ingredients. Refined fluxweed. Purified lacewing flies. And a single drop of essence. Carefully measured. Carefully controlled. The potion began to form. The reaction was smoother than before. More stable. Less violent. Severus adjusted the process precisely, his movements calm and deliberate. No hesitation. No wasted motion. The liquid glowed softly. Not violet this time. But something close. A faint, luminous blue with traces of silver. The system activated. Synthesis complete. Result, refined healing draw. Effectiveness, plus 55% above standard. Magic core strain, minimal. Severus exhaled quietly. Better. Not excessive. Not dangerous. Controlled growth. Exactly what he needed. He lifted the vial and studied it. This was the line he would walk. Not perfection, but superiority. Hidden. Measured. A faint knock interrupted his thoughts. Severus didn't turn immediately. Come in. The door opened. Avery stepped inside. Without hesitation. Without announcement. You've been busy, Avery said, his gaze already scanning the room. Severus didn't hide the vial this time. But he didn't offer it either. What do you want? Severus asked calmly. Avery stepped closer. I heard something interesting, he said. About improving potion efficiency. Severus remained silent. Avery's eyes narrowed slightly. You're not selling potions anymore. Not a question. A statement. Severus met his gaze. No. A brief pause. Then what are you selling? Severus picked up the parchment from the desk and placed it on the table between them. Avery glanced down. Read. And then his expression shifted. Not dramatically. But enough. This is useful, he admitted. Severus said nothing. Avery looked back up. How much? Severus's answer was immediate. Better ingredients. Avery smirked faintly. You're consistent. Efficiency requires consistency. A short silence followed. Then Avery nodded. Fair. He folded the parchment and tucked it away. We'll continue this. Severus inclined his head slightly. I expect we will. Avery turned to leave, but paused at the door. You're building something, aren't you? He said without looking back. Severus didn't answer. Because the answer was obvious. After a moment, Avery left. The door closed. Silence returned. Severus stood there for a long time. Then he spoke quietly. Yes. The system flickered. Structure identified. Influence network forming. Severus's gaze darkened slightly. Not just influence. Control. Step by step. Piece by piece. A web. Invisible. Unavoidable. And at its center, a boy no one truly understood. Not yet. But soon. They would feel it. Even if they never saw it. Thank you for listening to today's audio series. If you enjoyed this story and want more content like this, please like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Alison the Savior so you never miss an update. And for those who love Hindi audio series, don't forget to check out and subscribe to our second channel AZTS Novel Hindi for more incredible stories. See you in the next episode with another amazing story. Until then, take care and thanks for watching.